Welcome back to our second installment of the Dagger of the Alliance. I'm your DM for the night, Helk with Mon. You can call me Helk. We'll return to our players in a moment, but I would like to thank everybody for watching on both channels, mine and Lord Fancy's. We appreciate it, and we're going to keep this one going. This is going to be a longer campaign, so I appreciate all of you being involved and being out there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to join our cast now. So I'm going to bring them back into the fold. Let me turn on my camera. Let me turn on my mic. And let me turn up the volume on them. I need to actually do that. So where is that? Here we are. And you should be able to hear me now, guys. And they can hear you as well. And we're going to switch to the live scene. And everybody, thank you for joining us. Let's reintroduce our cast. At the top of our screen, we have Vicariously Awesome playing the role of Mara tonight with a cat in her hand. So, you know.
She won't be in my hand for long.
That's fine.
That's her familiar.
Underneath, we have Gareth, played by Lord Fancy. And underneath Lord Fancy, we have Hammerstein, played by Scouty98. So welcome back, guys. I appreciate you all returning. And so we're going to start right where we left off. Our band of SI7 agents had dealt with... Jesus. Jesus, Scythe. So what I think... Yeah, no. Oh, what? I already...
Wait, what did I miss?
Me.
What did
Oh,
you
okay.
say?
Okay. What's that?
What do you say? I missed it.
Don't worry about it.
What did he say?
Don't worry about
Worry
it.
about it.
You guys!
You said your cat looks dead.
Xavier, what do you gotta spoil it?
Thank you. Okay.
Wow.
Spoil my
So
fun.
it's sleeping.
You.
Thank you, Austin.
Your
Wow.
cat looks dead.
Wow.
One of my cats.
All right.
is dead.
Okay. Reel it in.
Come on.
Yeah. So we
Focus.
left all of our players in the harbor of Stormwind. They had just watched a ship sail away magically, pushed by unnatural forces, and an even larger ship, a gigantic ship, appeared, carrying the Archmage Jaina, the High King Anduin Rin, and Gen Greymane, along with just an assorted amount of soldiers and everything, declaring that the Lordaeron had fallen, but there was no victory to be had there, as the war chief of the Horde, Sylvanas Windrunner, had blighted the entire city to prevent it from being used. And Jaina had noticed our agents standing there on the dock looking at the ship sailing away, and she had offered her help. And so that is the moment in which we return to action. So without a further notice, Jaina, staff in hand, raises it to the sky, draws a circle, and the entire harbor freezes over. The ship is frozen in place, held by the ice, conjured by Jaina. She motions to you to walk across it. She assures you it will be safe. What do you do?
I walk across.
You arrive at the ship. The ship is completely empty. There is nobody to be found on this ship anywhere. It is as if it was all a ruse to make you look in the wrong spot.
What?
As you all approach, as you're all checking the ship, Jaina approaches you. She takes a look at the ship and asks you, what were you looking for?
What were we looking?
Answers.
I mean, I didn't go to the ship.
She
Scouty was looking for probably a necklace.
she looks at Gareth, and she goes, answers to what? And she then kind of puts her hand up and she goes, I know. Super secret stuff, right? That's what all of USI 7 lot are about, correct?
Precisely.
Meh.
She looks at the ship. She brings her hand to her face for a moment. She looks at all of you and she goes, "Do you all know the Mage's Quarter?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
Meet me at the tavern there. I believe it's called the Fat Lamb or something like that. Slaughtered Lamb, that's what it is. She goes, "Meet me there in about a half hour or so." And with kind of a waver of her hand, she draws another circle and vanishes into thin air. What's your choice, players?
Well, I guess we should go meet her at the Fat Lamb. I mean, the
Slaughtered
slaughtered.
lamb. Is that the name of it? The fat lamb?
It's a slaughtered lamb.
Lady Jaina
Lords.
Proudmoore is not someone that you disobey. We should go at once.
Is that what all of you are going to do?
Yes. She knows my face.
All right.
My face.
She knows my face.
I ain't no anonymous fuck.
What's on the way there?
So you will, once again, so let's zoom out here. You will once again pass through Cathedral Square, through the Trade District, and then into the Mage Quarter. As of this time, most businesses are closed with the exception of taverns and inns.
Now it looks like we're gonna make our way to the Mage Quarter.
All right.
Slaughtered lamb.
I feel like we were just here.
So,
I know, right? It's crazy.
I'm having deja vu.
so you return to the Mage Quarter, and again you see you're welcomed by all the countless the residences that line the streets, as well as the Arcane Sanctum, the big circular building right in the lower left-hand corner of the entirety of it. And you also can point out the Slaughtered Lamb Tavern that is on the way. The streets are mostly empty, even with the arrival of the ship. The true force of Stormwind has not yet returned. So for the most part, the streets are fairly empty of any goers. Most people are ducking into their homes or going into the Lamb for respite.
I approach the lamb. Anything of note?
It's brightly lit. There seems to be conversation, not really raucous conversation, but more so just people unwinding from the day. You can hear from inside. Nothing that would make you not want to enter.
Let's go.
All right. So we enter the Slaughtered Lamb, or you enter the Slaughtered Lamb. There's a few people throughout there. You can make out Archmage Malin, and he kind of motions to you from across the way. There's a woman sitting alone at a table off to the left. She looks familiar. And a goblin seated at the bar. He looks familiar as well. Jaina is seated at the largest table and sees you enter and nods as you enter, as you walk through the door. You may control your characters here.
Which one is Jan?
Jaina would be...
That one.
Okay. Where's the bartender?
Nobody seems to be tending the bar at the moment, which seems odd.
Ha!
Free
Open
drink.
bar! Let's go! No, she probably had it clear. Lady Jaina Proudmoore probably had the place cleared out for secrecy and confidentiality and discretion.
Alright, then I guess I will step forward.
Well,
I'm gonna go
lean against
sit
the wall.
next to. I'm gonna go sit across from her, actually.
Lean up right
She
against-
kind of
next-
jump. She kind of jumps in front of you, Gareth.
I floated. I levitated across the room
in your purple sparkly form.
with my purple, sparkly shadow form.
Hammerstein is going to hang out over there.
Yeah, I'll listen.
I leapfrogged over Gary. And
As you
I-
approach, you can see her kind of just holding a glass of wine. It's still quite full. She turns towards Malin. Malin, with a beard full of soup, looks at her. And she kind of goes. Malin's like, "But my soup!"
Oh, Malin.
Fine.
Get out.
Malin exits.
Taking this dude.
With his soup.
You're a thief in every game we play.
So,
Oh,
Jaina nods as you approach. Hail.
Hail.
She goes, so, what business did SI-7 have to do with a ship leaving Stormwind?
I saddle up. Well, we were in search of answers for why a suspect may have been connected to the attack on the tree.
we are under special orders from Commander Matthias Shaw to investigate this matter further. Under heavy discretion.
As you say the words Matthias Shaw, you see the goblin at the bar place his hand on the hilt of his dagger.
Oops.
Well, no, Mara. You must have been mistaken. She was half out at that point in time. It was not Matthias Shaw. She kept calling him Matthias Shaw, but I think she was confused.
He looked a lot like Matthias Shaw. I mean, it was a mistake to make.
Well, mistake or not. We are here at our own discretion under SI-7. SI-7 banner.
You see the goblin relax at the bar and go back to his drink. Jaina looks at you and goes, "There's only two other people in this tavern with us." And she leans back and she goes, "I know Renzik the Shiv is over at the bar, and Sloane McCoy is seated over at that table. However, I'm not your enemy. I have no love for the Horde, just as anyone in this room." She goes, "I think we have something that can help you in this manner. However, it's not prepared for you to see yet. What are your plans for tomorrow?" she says as she takes a quick sip of wine.
We have some armor to pick up. And that's about it.
She nods. She goes, "So you will be in the marketplace, yes?"
Yes. Correct.
I will meet you there in the early afternoon. Do whatever errands you must do, and I will take you there to this thing that could be of most assistance to you in your search. She puts the glass of wine down. She puts some coin on the table. As she goes to exit, she turns back and says, "And do give my regards to Shaw." She nods.
Thank you, Lady Proudmoore. We are most grateful for your assistance in the matter. And I nod back.
She nods and leaves the room. You may
Are there
interrupt.
any spirits on the table?
There's plenty.
Let's drink.
I'll
Chug,
pour myself one.
chug, chug,
All right.
chug, 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 chug.
Renzik slams coin down on the bar. And as he's walking by, he goes, "Mind yourself you don't get yourselves killed with her." And he leaves the
And nod
lamb
at
as well.
Resnick. Peace out, bro.
Well, I will say that vagueness is our ally tomorrow.
I fear no one and nothing. So, I say what I want when I want.
Well, neither do I, but I still have a mind for discretion. Hammerstein.
I accidentally spill my drink on Gareth.
Oh,
Oops! Sorry.
oopsie, oopsie.
Butterfingers. My bad. My sincerest apologies.
Toss Gareth a rag.
Huh. I take the
I s-
rag and I tell him to lick it up.
I take a small vial out of my bag and uncork it and pour it on the spill of liquor. It clears the stain.
Oh my god. Can I get that in a store? Well, no harm, no foul. Moving on.
The smell will take more than a wash to get out. Thank you.
I, I'm gonna go over to Hammerstein. And I'm gonna say, get you a drink?
No.
No? Are you sure?
Yeah.
We're drinking. You should drink.
No point.
Why?
Cause I'm dead. Why do I need? I'm already dead. I don't need to feel dead inside already. It's already there.
Oh, no. No, alcohol, there's a reason they're called spirits. They're to lift your spirits. Maybe they'll make you feel more alive.
No. I'd still be dead.
So that woman that changed locations after the goblin left, Shiv.
Oh, Sloan?
What do I notice her doing? I'll do a perception roll if you'd like.
No, that's okay. She's not making anything hidden. She just moved behind the bar and started actually tending it. She does look familiar to you, though. You can't seem to place it.
Okay.
The old noggin's been scrambled quite a few times.
I'm gonna nod to Hammerstein. Like, peace out, man. And I'm gonna go check her out. And I'm gonna ask her for a drink.
She looks at you and she goes. She nods and she goes, "So, what do you be drinking, lass?"
I want the hardest alcohol that you have, and I put my coin down on the bar.
So it'd be water there.
What?
SI7 agents should be acting in accordance, Mim.
I am
She-
almost 1,300 years old. I know how to hold my liquor. You will not deny me this drink. I will get it myself.
As you say this, you realize who you're speaking to. This was the same woman that was behind the desk at the Old Town Inn, who opened up the secret room to meet with Matthias Shaw. Sloane McCoy, maker of any and all poisons that are in all the pockets of all SI7 agents.
You know, on second thought, I don't need a drink. I'm not thirsty. I think I'll just happen to just take a walk over here with my compatriots and take a seat and ponder my life choices.
She goes, "Good
I
choice.
don't look.
Good choice, Mom."
I don't look, but I do overhear it, and I
Mom.
continue to enjoy my drink.
Oh,
That's-
he gets to drink.
Mhm.
Sexist much? Jeez.
I'll drink to that.
I hate you so much.
I don't have working organs. Who cares?
You'll just pour right through.
Yeah.
How stiff is this drink?
Not very. Everything out there has been fairly soft. It's and by design.
Watered down.
But
Yeah.
it's smooth.
Fair enough.
And that is a dog in the background, the Pope.
There's a dog in the background?
My dog was shaking in the
We're the
background.
dog, so.
You know,
The
doing
dog's
that.
dead.
My dog is
My
not
dog.
dead. That is.
Fox is a dead boy.
I
Okay.
said my dog.
Oh.
No animals were harmed in the making of this.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Scouting!
you can see Sloane comes from around the bar after cleaning up a little bit and goes, "You be needing a room for the night."
Nod
Yes.
My head.
Yes.
She nods and says, "There be room next door. It's SI7 agents. You needn't be paying anything. Whenever
Three
you're
separate
when,
rooms?
whenever you're ready, you may head on over.
Three
I'll head
separate
on over
rooms?
now.
Three separate rooms. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Why are you calling me mom?
By the way, that's how they say it over there when they say ma'am.
Ah!
There you go." Sloane nods and heads for the exit. Do be locking it up when you're leaving. She leaves a key on a hook by the door.
As she exits, I casually walk over and lock the door.
Oh, shit. I raise my eyebrows.
Right.
I put the key into my
Scouty!
belt, and I turn around to my companions. Perhaps I should move myself. Yes. What the hell are you doing over here?
I was about to head out.
Here, he's left. He's not
And
returning.
you locked the door!
There you go.
This is so
Yeah,
awkward!
it's just, that's why it's you two.
You're just
I'm-
staring at this locked door like, what?
I didn't realize that
You know, I said I was like, you can leave whenever you want. I'm just gonna head out now.
Okay, fine. I don't lock the
Mentally
door.
fortify myself.
You unlocked the door, you mean?
No, I never locked the door.
Never locked the door.
Because I thought he was
Really?
still in here.
Because I could have sworn you locked the door.
Anyways, moving on.
Fine. I look at Mara, who's tap dancing on the table.
I was just gonna say I jump on the table and I do a little jig.
I put my drink down heavy on the desk, on the table. So numerous have your years been, and yet your wisdom seems faltered.
I could understand how a human of your age could, and temperament could, see it that way.
Of course. Though, unfortunately, as I am accustomed to working alone, I do see us three being in often companionship of one another. Therefore, we should all act as thus, that there are others whose lives also hang in the balance of our actions.
I am well aware of how many lives rest on, and let's get this straight right now. Just because we work together doesn't make us friends.
Quite the contrary.
Ooh.
Just simply laying some ground rules. For I'm certain that were I, or that undead gnome, to make any actions that made you feel uneasy or unsafe, we'd be the first to hear about it.
Oh, you mean like locking the door? I'm sorry, I thought I made this clear before. You are not in charge of me. There are no ground rules for you to lay down. You are not in charge of this mission. You are not in charge of me. I will do as I please, when I want, where I want, with who I want.
I'm sure there's been plenty of that.
I don't mean it like that! I hate you. I hate you so much. Yeah, you drink your drink, Helk. You drink your drink. I go over to the bar because now that Sloan is gone, I'm making myself a drink because this is some bullshit.
Well, I finished mine with a satisfied sigh. Then I get up and I head out.
All right.
I start chugging my drink. It's fucking human.
Gareth exits.
Alright, after I chug my drink, I leave.
All right. Did you lock the door?
Of course not! That's not my job! This isn't my place!
Okay.
They shouldn't have left us alone. Okay, fine, I lock the door. With my mind, once I'm outside, with my magical
You can't
shadow.
do that.
Jesus, come on.
Lazy.
Don't tell me how to live my life! Don't tell me how to lock doors!
Mara leaves after locking the door. And
I hate you.
and the party retires for the night next door. All with separate rooms, no worries. However, in the middle of the night, Hammerstein has a dream. This is weird, because the undead do not dream. He awakens, and it's morning.
I'm in the lobby.
You're back to the Mage's Quarter. There is no lobby to the building that you just walked out of. There's only a hallway and outside.
I'm outside.
Well, good morning.
It is morning. Whether it is good or not has yet to be decided.
Of course.
So as of right now, as Jaina has told you, she will meet you a little after midday in the market. You do have business in the market, but it's up to you to decide what you'd like to do. Where is Hammerstein? Is he still in his room?
Where is
I don't know.
Hammerstein? What? You are Hammerstein! Where are you? You do know!
I walk outside.
Okay.
Alright, I walk up to
I
Hammerstein
thought this
and
was like a given.
I walk up to Hammerstein and I'm like, I trust you slept well.
Debatable.
Why do you say that?
a freaky thing.
A
Being
freaky
undead
thing.
and having no dreams, having a dream. It's
A dream? How is
very
that possible?
foreboding.
How is that possible for an undead to have a dream? I don't understand.
I don't.
I think that we should inform Gareth of this.
If you want.
He is in our group. He should be made aware. This could it could have been a malicious attack. Maybe not a dream. There are
I
lots of
step out.
spellcasters around here that have that kind of power.
I step out. I thought we weren't a group.
We work together. Anything that involves the mission involves all of us. How much more do I have to make myself clear to you?
Start heading over to the trade district.
Alright. We work together, we tolerate each other, we don't like each other. It's not rocket science. It's cut.
So Hammerstein, tell me of this vision you had.
Just whispers.
What did the whispers say?
I don't know. It's incoherent.
What do you think we should do, Gareth?
Are you certain it was a dream and not just thoughts of a bygone age?
I don't know.
We should talk to a mage about that. They
I
might
was
have
gonna
some more
suggest-
insight.
I
I would
recommend
suggest
you
the
two
same.
pick up your gear.
You can carry my gear for me, Hammerstein. Let's go to the mage tower and find a high mage, an archmage to question about this.
You can go. I'm gonna go to the trade district. Care.
You're gonna go what?
To the trade district.
Okay, I'm gonna go figure
You
out
can
your
ask.
dream for you. You're welcome.
Thank you, Mom.
Alright, gonna flip my hair and flip you the bird and take off
Whatever.
towards the mage district.
So I start heading towards the trade district with Hammerstein in tow, and I stop and turn. You don't think it's wise to get that perceived? I mean, she didn't even have the dream, but she's hanging out.
I don't. Could just be remnants, Arthas, in the back of my head.
It could.
I was under
Well.
control.
If you don't see the importance of it, then I don't see why should I.
Fair enough. Head on our way.
All right. So Gareth and Hammerstein head on over to the trade district. We pick up with Mara, head over to the arcane sanctum. She enters the doors, and who should you find there but our old friend Malin, the archmage. Oh. Good morning.
Malin, I bring troubling news. I require your assistance.
What do you need from me, young one? You're probably much older than me, but, you know, human.
I know I look good for my age. It's okay. One of our party members, the little undead.
Oh, the gnome death knight, yes.
Yes, you remember him.
Yes, I do.
He informed me that this morning he had a dream last night of whispers that he was not able to understand, and that didn't sound right to me, so I thought I should come check with you.
Whispers? A
Yeah.
dream?
I know, right?
The undead don't dream, my dear.
That's what I thought. That's why this is so odd to me. It's troubling considering we are on a very important mission.
Malin leans on his staff hard. You can tell that he's deep in thought. He goes, "We only have so much experience with the undead via the Death Knights. If this was the Horde, we'd be able to ask the Forsaken and their apothecary members about this." He goes, "This is troubling news. I don't quite know what to make of it. Perhaps it was more... Maybe it was... Are you sure it was a dream?
He was very specific. He seemed not to be worried about it, but I could sense in the back of his mind that he was troubled by it because undead do not dream.
Do we know what the whisper said?
He had no idea. There was no understanding of the whispers.
Perhaps by being around humanity, the undead are assimilating living qualities. Could that be the cause, do you think?
I do not think that is the cause. With the mission that we're on, I suspect foul play from someone with magical powers.
Malin looks around and he goes, our mages have not yet returned from the battlefield. However, I would be the only one that might be able to answer this question, as I was in Northrend to assist with the assault on Arthas. I really don't know, my dear.
He did say it could be echoes from Arthas, but I don't believe that.
Arthas is dead, my dear. Rest assured of that.
That's why I'm concerned that that's not what it is. If it is so easy for someone to penetrate the mind of one party, we know about it.
Are we sure it's someone that's penetrating into the party, or could it be just... He shakes his head. He goes, I don't even know what to make of this.
I can come back later if you have someone that you want to consult about this, because I cannot be around a Forsaken without killing them.
Malin looks at you and goes, we have no Forsaken here, and, well, with the exception of that one priest, but she's a light-touched Forsaken. He goes,
I have no quarrel with Jane and Crowd.
She's not the light-forged Forsaken that you'll be looking for.
There's another?
I talk about Menethil,
Oh.
Arthas' sister. I will talk to her, save you the trouble. I know how this could really stretch relations. And if I find anything, I'll let you know. I'll also ask a series of Death Knights to see if they've heard anything either, just to make sure that this isn't just a Death Knight thing. How does that sound, my dear?
We appreciate your assistance in this matter, and it will not go unnoted.
Malin bows and goes, I'm ever in your service.
I bow back.
And with that, Malin takes his leave as well.
And I head back to the trade district to report to my party members about what Malin told me.
Alrighty. So, we head on over to the trade district. Alright. So again, we have the trade district here. You have the Trader's Hall, which was where the armor was last seen. You also have the assortment of other shops, banks, anything that you could find. The morning is growing long at this point.
First things first, I'm going to head back to the Trader's Hall. Head back to
You walk into Trader's Hall and you hear the typical noise. Oi! I'll give you 90% off on all of these goods that I have here. And you hear other people shouting. And in the back again, you see the armorer, arms crossed, not shouting at all.
It's about time for us to pick up our gear, right? It's been a day or so.
Mara approaches Gareth and says as much.
No, I'm asking you.
Oh,
I was gonna say Mara's totally not here right now.
Mara enters the market and approaches
Help,
her
it's time
comrades.
for us to get our gear,
It
right?
is, yes.
Dungeon Master?
Yes. Medicine.
I make my way through the crowd and head to the armor.
I stop you before you get to the armor, and I kind of lean in closely so that I can whisper and no one can hear me. And I said, this trader that you gave your vest to and that I am getting cloth from knew we were S17. I just thought this was information that you should know. And then I back away and let him continue.
You see me nod my head slightly, and I press forward.
Wait, SI7. What did I say? S17?
Yeah, you said S17. I
Oh
was
my
going to
God,
correct
I'm
you,
so
but that's
sorry.
okay. That's okay.
I'm terrible at this. I'm
That's
so
okay.
sorry.
That's
Please
okay. That's
report
okay.
me, I'm
That's
bad.
okay. Reported.
No worries.
Kicked off Twitch.
Don't ban me.
Anyways.
Don't ban me.
Anyways.
I nod at him.
You're showing me the doors.
He nods back. He goes, "Sir, I've got your vest for you. Hang on one moment." He goes behind the stall and returns with the vest and goes, "We've laced it with adamantite. You should be able to take a stab from a long sword. The only thing that you'll feel is the pressure, not the stab. It should hold up pretty well."
This is mighty fine craftsmanship.
Goes all in a good day's work there, sir. He's like, you pay for a good product, I pay for, I produce a good product.
And of course, a man of principle. I appreciate that.
Of course, my lord.
Now, quick question.
My lord?
We are here on business. Or I am, at the very least. I was wondering, do you know anybody? Out of character question, where's the location that the tree was?
Caldemore.
I'm sorry, my lord. What are you talking about? Trees? What is this?
Out of character question.
Oh, out of character question. Sorry.
Where's the place that the tree was?
What was the? Okay, it was in Darnassus.
Which is on the other continent.
Other continent. Yeah.
East.
Oh, come on.
West.
West.
So we can easily get there with a portal from Storm.
He knows. Yeah. Everybody knows where Teldrassil is.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know.
Everybody.
Everything first. So Teldrassil.
Yes.
Okay. So I am dropping frames like a motherfucker. All right, I can't stream this. Sorry, guys. Love you.
Aww.
That was me last week.
Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know what just happened, but
You know, OBS doesn't like my computer.
I would rather Discord not freeze than stream. So
Okay.
Last time I streamed this, my computer almost crashed. That's kind of like.
It takes a lot of video. Like, I have 2 video cards running this.
Huh.
So.
all right. Anyways, I am here on personal business. You see, do you know anybody that was in Teldrassil recently? You have this seeking look in your eyes, and I wonder if there was anything to that.
The armor looks at you and goes, "Everyone knows the tragedy that was Teldrassil here, sir." Are you asking if I have anybody personal in the tree?
Sure.
My lass. My right one.
Really?
Yep.
So you've heard no word then?
No, we ain't heard any word there, sir. We, just simple armorer. But, she was my world. You know? What do when you lose your world? You lose yourself and your work. Am I right?
I understand you completely.
Gareth had a love?
Know that my thoughts go with you.
I appreciate it.
And I toss him an extra gold. And I make my way out.
My lord. Appreciate.
You didn't ask him about...
Just gonna leave that to you, maybe.
As I pass by you, I pause for a moment and I look past you and I speak. Well, he wasn't forthcoming with such information with me. Perhaps you can find out why he knows what he knows. And
A woman's touch always does the trick. I'll handle it. I'll take care of it.
I look around, you hear a slight chuckle, and I make my way out.
And I nod at him as he leaves. Peace out.
Go ahead. Sorry. Sorry.
I'm so sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay.
That's a normal night out greeting. Peace out.
Peace out.
Many night owls. Alright,
That's it, right?
Alright, let's, I'm gonna go pick up my armor. I walk towards the same, trader, and I ask him, I'm here to pick up, the cloth armor that I requested the other day. Is it ready?
Yes, Mom. I got it right here in the back for you. Let me go get it for you. We'll have you.
Children of the grave, heed my call.
Sorry, I sent all my because I had to turn off straight.
Welcome in, everyone, and that was the great. That's the greatest raid noise. I love it. I love it.
I put the link in your chat too.
Well, thank you. So thank you, everyone. Welcome in from Lord Fancy's channel. If you're coming from there, you'll know what's going on. So let's continue here. So the armorer goes to Mara and goes, "Yes, Mom, I got you. I've got your order right in the back here. Give me one moment for you." He walks around. You can hear him swearing at someone. "Well, get the fucking armor out of the fucking truck. God damn it."
Serve the Dark Lady.
Thank you for the host, Vicariously Awesome.
You're welcome.
So, thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Everybody in chat and everybody
You're
on
doing
the video.
great, man.
Cool.
Breaking the immersion.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. I have to break the immersion for this.
Fine, no worries.
Breaking the immersion.
The armor, you hear the armor in the background. Oh, it's like cloth armor, you fucking moron. He's like, it's like, that's fucking plate. Here's some more scampering around. He goes, "Ah, yes, there it is." You see the armor walk back out. He goes, "I'm not much of a tailor here, dear." He lays out the robe. The robe is very intricately woven, you can tell, and you can feel the power brimming from it when he places it on his counter. He goes, "I've had some priests take a look at this for you," and he goes, "I know that you're of the shadow aspect here." He goes, "I can tell from your demeanor." So what we had here was we've imbued it with certain shadow aspects along with different runes to keep you protected. It's not as strong as maybe a mail or anything, he goes, but you should be able to guard yourself against from a dagger stab. You'll just want to adjust your body from the pressure that comes from the stab. He goes, as that will be all you feel. He goes, but anything bigger and it might break right through. He goes, what you think, Mom?
I understand. This will do just fine. Thank you very much for the fine work. I do have one question before I go.
Anything, Mom.
I hand him the coin for the work.
You already paid me, Mom. Thank you. But that's enough.
This is not for this is for information.
For information, Mom, from a lowly armorer, what you need?
I am very curious to know how a lowly armor that I was SI7.
How do I know you're SI7, Mom? Well, you're cavorting with a little undead gnome running around here, and that human fellow who's a rogue. Okay, I don't know many rogues around here. Unless they're thieves and they ain't paying for stuff. If he's paying for something, he's SI7. And with you moving around with him and communicating with him, just like you did right over there, you SI7.
Interesting.
He picks up the robe, clasps your back, and brings you close and goes, "And I was once one too," and releases. You be needing anything else, Mom?
I get a little smirk in the corner of my mouth, and I smile at him, and I nod, and no, thank you. This is wonderful. You may see us again. Appreciate it.
Excellent, Mom. I look forward to it. You take care of yourself. You look after your family now. I hope that all is well. I know how it can be. He nods.
My eyes turn black, and I fume with purple flames. I have no family. My family is all dead, murdered by Sylvanas, burned alive at the tree. Watch what you say to me.
He looks at you without pausing a beat and goes, "So is mine, Mom. Same thing."
My fire dims down, and my eyes go back to my bright white, and I don't say anything else. I just turn away, ashamed.
He doesn't continue to engage. He just, again, crosses his arms and looks off into the crowd looking for the next customer.
Night up women, right?
Mm-hmm. He knows.
No! Kitty, stop it! She just ate my LED lights! You see how they're off? I need a minute. I'm so sorry. Hang on. 1 second. One second.
Blum, 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 blum. Okay, Hammerstein.
Switch to Hammerstein.
Hammerstein, where did you go?
Yes. I was heading over toward the Griffins.
You going over to the Griffins, eh?
Yeah, because someone make an undead Griffin. Have a nice, buddy.
Yeah. As you approach the Griffin stable, you hear a dwarf in the background. You hear, "Whoa there! Where do you think you're going?"
Here to purchase a Griffin.
Purchase a Griffin. He goes, What do you want with one of these?"
Well, I'm assuming you can tell from my undead demeanor.
"Well, you looking to turn this thing undead?"
Kinda.
"Move along there, Death Knight. We ain't got need for the likes of you here."
Those sickly Griffins that you wish not to deal with.
Any sickly griffins fly off to die.
Children of the grave, heed my call.
Diffie and Dante. Welcome.
Yep.
Shit.
Jesus Christ. Welcome in. How's it going, guys?
It's a lively.
Whoop, hang on.
Children of the grave,
Heed my call.
The undead gnomes crush his foot.
There we go. Well, welcome in, everyone.
2,000-page textbook.
If you're wondering where we're at, our intrepid explorers are exploring the trade district of Stormwind as it stands. So we are now with, you do hear a Carrie. She's making sure her cat didn't eat an LED.
LED.
Yeah. Okay. So the wolves won the raid. Welcome in different times. Welcome in everybody from different times' stream. Welcome in Dante, and welcome in everyone from Art Is My Voice's raid. I think that was great. So welcome in. So we're with Hammerstein, our Death Knight gnome, who's trying to obtain a griffin at the moment. And he's dealing with a surly dwarf. Everything okay over there, Carrie?
Hi, back on. We're okay.
Okay, good,
Good.
good.
She
She didn't
didn't
eat it. I thought your cat did eat like something, and I'm like, okay, this is gonna be okay.
I don't want to talk about it. Let's not- can we
Oh
not talk
no,
about
the
my
kitty.
cat?
So welcome in,
She's
everyone.
been locked out now. You will not be seeing her again for the
3 raids. That's crazy. Well,
profusely.
awesome. Thank you for the bits. I appreciate it. 200 bits. Okay, so let's who's the cutie and who is the girl above him?
Hello, friends.
Hello. So, anyways, so the dwarf goes, if you're looking to turn one of these griffins undead, you might as well just be moving along.
What does it matter once I bought it, though?
They're not for sale. These are for soldiers of Stormwind.
Fair enough. I walk out. All See if I can get a horse.
I see Hammerstein walking out across the way.
A little salty.
By different times.
Alright, I'm actually gonna get an ice pack because my foot really hurts.
Okay.
What did you do?
What did you do?
Crushed my foot with my textbook. Leave me alone.
He's literally
He
hopping
hops
away.
away.
So,
On that note, I'm gonna get some ice for my booze.
Why don't
Oh
we
my
take a
God.
quick break? I'm sorry, you know what? Go ahead and take your break. I will catch everybody up who just came in from the raid.
I'll
Ooh,
stay
do
with
How about that?
Do that.
So go ahead and
I'll
take
help
your
you.
breaks.
I'll stay.
So where we are is that the Archmage Jaina Proudmore has agreed to meet the party here in the trade
Ow.
district.
Ow.
Jesus Christ. I'm catching everybody up on this, Scouty. Calm down.
Dungeons and Dragons is a very dangerous sport.
Yeah, I know. Evidently,
Yeah, it
Scouty gets hurt every time.
Hey, leave me
I have
So-
to lock my cat
Undead
out.
can't feel pain. Exactly.
Undead can't feel pain, but his character can.
So, anyways. So, Jaina Proudmore said she would meet the entire party to bring them to a certain thing to help them on their journey. Now,
Rise up, sons of the Horde! Blood and glory await us!
Loktar Ogar for the Horde. Thank you there, Scythe, for that sub to Austin. I appreciate I know my immersions, right? But thank you for that sub for Austin. I appreciate it. So, okay. So let me, I'm loving all these Horde Sylvanas alerts. Thank you, Artist, my voice. Anyways, so she's agreed to meet them in the trade district around the afternoon. Right now, the party is busy collecting their items that they purchased the day before. However, our Death Knight had a dream, which is weird, because the undead don't dream. The Archmage Malin is on the case on this and asking around to see what this could possibly mean. And that's what brings us to this point. The boat that had been sailing away was empty the other night. So right now, the entire party hinges upon figuring out what Jaina has to show them. And that's where we are right now. So once Lord Fancy rejoins us,
Should have brought my cup back of water.
so
Alright, just go get water.
yeah, just go get water. We got a
Yeah,
moment.
I'll be right back.
We got a
I
moment.
get I do.
And you have a Vegeta badge. You have an Arlian Vegeta badge. Isn't that a cool badge? Like the red hair Vegeta, with the Scouter. All Vegetas are awesome. So I have new badges, by the way. I have 1 month, which is Arlian Vegeta. 3 months, which are Black Hair Vegeta, no Scouter. 6 months, which are Super Saiyan Vegeta. And 1 year, Blue Hair Vegeta.
Nice.
Anyways, so I think I've caught everybody up. So thank you all for your raids. I mean, Jesus, I've never had this happen. So this is I'm gonna act like Amanda right now. You know,
All
that's
sweaty?
yeah. I'm all sweaty. So oh, look at this. Look at this. That sort of thing.
Rise up, sons of the Horde!
Speaking of,
blood
Yep.
and glory await us!
Wait, is Mana home?
Loktargar!
Loktar Ogar for the
speaking of
Horde.
sub-badges,
Thank you, Sasrin, for 11 months. You are 1 month away from obtaining that blue hair Vegeta. Thank you again there, sir. I appreciate it. Let me give you another for the Horde here. So, there you go.
look at his bubs.
There we go.
Look at him looking at me.
What's happening? Fox. He's so cute. So we'll wait for the others. We are going to take an official break in like 30 minutes, so because I'll need to
Might as well
use...
take it now. Shit.
Do it, hell.
Well, I mean, like,
I don't want to break this though.
halfway through.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're-
we're so good right now.
Yeah, right now we're about to get to kind of the meat. I don't want to
Alright,
take a break right now.
You're a break.
I'll run this show.
That's okay. Jesus
This is my
Christ.
show.
Sons of the Horde!
Hang on.
Blood and glory await us! Loktargar! For the Horde!
Thank you for that sub, Vextress. I appreciate it. Enjoy that red-haired Arlian Vegeta. Thank you again. Let me give you a for the Horde here.
Fools.
And thank you for the follow as well. Sub then follow. Whoop whoop.
Sub then follow.
Well, thank
That's
you.
my favorite order of operation.
That's like the best
Why
order
not
of
a total
operation there.
Follow, then sub.
Oh, there we go. Well, thank you again. So I hope you're all caught up. If not, just follow along. We're about to
Attack is in.
like this.
dive into the depths of the story here.
Alright. So,
Hammerstein leaves the Griffin Pen and heads towards the notices, and there seems to be a crowd forming over there. They're loving the Sylvanas. There seems to be someone walking through the trade district, and you all can probably assume who it is. You hear Lady Proudmoore throughout the crowd.
Meh.
Who is it?
I wonder.
And the crowd
Lady
starts
Proudmoore.
forming around notices.
who's that?
And you see a female hand raised above the crowd and goes, "Citizens, please, I'm here on official business." And the crowd starts to scatter.
I close my book.
She looks around, wanting to find the party members.
I walk within sight of her, but not right up. That makes sense.
She nods. She motions for you to approach.
I push her slowly and pick her.
She goes, "My lady, what was your name again?"
Mara.
Mara. Right. Where's the rest of your crew?
We work together, but we're not exactly. I'm not exactly their keeper. I'm not. I think they're somewhere around the trade
You're not
district.
my
So
mom.
I'm picking up. I'm not their mum.
Alrighty.
Even though people keep calling me mum.
She goes, "Well, we'll see if we can wait for them and see if they approach."
Try to make my way through the crowd.
I kind of like whistle.
I come rushing in like a dog, chanting.
Here, help! Here, oh wait, no, not help. Sorry.
Help.
Here, him! I'm sorry.
Jaina notes the undead gnome approaching her. She nods to him. She goes, "Well met, gnome. What was your name again?
Hammerstein.
Hammerstein.
We call him Ham.
Ham. Alright, it looks like we're just missing your human.
I
This,
watched from afar.
the rogue of sorts. So she stands there. And you can note that Gina's looks, as opposed to a few years ago, have changed. She looks more wearied than she once did in the paintings of her. She looks more battle-hardened. And she has no time for fools.
Well, Gareth is out.
I think I'm the fool here.
I squint my eyes as I see her looking around, and I step forward and approach them.
She sees Gareth walking from the streets, and she nods. Well met. She goes, what was your name again?
Gareth.
Gareth. Thank you for the follow different times. I appreciate it. So, with that, Jaina goes, okay, I think we're all accounted for. Okay, so let us be on our way. We're going to head towards the keep. Do we have any more business here in the trade district?
I'd
I'd like to go to Tier's Cheese Store and buy a wheel of cheese.
Oh my, no, we are good. We do not have any. Buy your cheese later. I will buy your cheese later. Right now we have a mission. You have a job.
The word cheese just bleeped out in all of your words, so it was buy your later, I will buy your...
So,
Sorry.
Jaina looks at the undead gnome and goes, such a strange undead gnome needing food.
Yeah. He
I was
drinks
gonna do
too.
something foolish.
Jaina hears this comment out of Mara about a dream, and she goes, what was that you said?
I feel the eyes pressing upon us, Jaina. Let's head towards this tower, please.
I second
Yes,
that.
of course. You all head towards the keep of Stormwind. Where's my mouse? Here it is. And we'll bring it here so that you can see what you will be walking through before we get there. The trade district leads right to Old Town, which will then kind of loop into the keep.
Buy the horses.
You make your way through Old Town. The rogues of Old Town know not to mess with. The likes of you.
Yeah.
You cut through the Dwarven District. Dwarven District is full of industry. Nothing of any sorts happening there for you at the moment. You approach Stormwind Keep, a magnificent castle, as it is. As is all of Stormwind, for that matter. I'll give you some music here. As you approach Stormwind Keep, Jaina takes you down one of the pathways towards a door. She pulls a key ring off of her belt. Going through all of the keys, she grabs one, unlocks the door, and shoves it open. There are stairs down.
Is it lit?
It is well lit. In fact,
I can see in the
she
dark.
goes, she goes, welcome to the stockade.
I glance about. Any eyes?
You see a pair of guards in front of you. Stormwind guards. Strong guards. However, as they see Jaina Proudmoore approach, they straighten and go into a salute. Jaina informs the guards, this lot is with me. One of the guards goes, may I ask where you're going, Lady Proudmoore? She goes, we're going to see him. Without nodding, the guard turns his head and goes, are you sure that's wise? She goes, I expect all of you to provide the utmost protection of us. The guard goes, we'll do our best. The guards part. They inform the party. Straight ahead. Can't miss it. Ask the guard in front. Jaina leads the party down the hallway. You see a number of cells on the left and right sides. Different prisoners. Maybe thieves. Maybe murderers. They're all looking down at themselves. There is no hope down here. This is the stockade. When you enter here, you don't leave. Jaina approaches the guard and looks behind her to see if the rest of the party is approaching. She sees Mara, but she motions to Gareth and Hammerstein to approach.
I do so.
Okay. So, let me do
You
that.
guys are still in the back on roll.
Yeah, that's okay. It's not a big deal. I'll drag.
Move ya, okay.
I'll move you. I'll move you. Not a big deal.
Oh.
The guard in front of the main cell straightens and goes, Yes, Lady Proudmoore. Jaina goes, I would have words with him. He goes, You think that wise? Vextrous, this is just me making this up right now. The guard nods to Jaina and goes, All right. He's not the talkative lot. The guard turns to the door and unlocks it. Moves out of the way for the rest of the party to enter the cell.
It's a mighty small cell.
Oop. Everything moved.
We're
Oh, you
outside
moved
of
the
cell.
maps.
Yeah, I did. Sorry.
We are embedded into the walls of this.
We are the walls, the eyes and ears of Stormwind.
If these walls could talk, you know what I'm saying?
I'm moving you. Sorry. They're fancy. Inside, you
No, I
find...
was standing in the doorway.
Oh, sorry. Jaina moves it a little bit further so you can see even better. Inside, you find an orc. This is not any orc. This is a massive orc. He has not had his armor removed, but it is a brilliant crimson, with horns adorned upon it. You wonder why they hadn't removed his armor, why a prisoner would still have it on. His skin green from the curse of the blood of Manaroth. His hair gray. This orc has weathered many winters. His nose pierced, a septum ring through it. Large tusks go up the sides of his face. You are standing before no orc, but a legend.
I know who it is.
You stand before Overlord Sourfang.
I knew it! Ugh.
Upon his arms, chains. Upon his wrists, chains. Upon his neck, chains. Upon his legs, chains. Upon his feet, chains. He stares at all of you entering the room. And my phone thinks I said that it should
Siri.
activate the AI. He snorts and spits on the ground. Jaina looks at Saurfang and goes, These people have questions for you, Varrock. Are you going to answer them? He gives another snort. and looks to the side. If you have something to say, just say it.
Nice armor.
Varrock's gaze slowly comes to the Death Knight, Hammerstein, and goes, just because I'm here, gnome, does not mean that you should not be any less afraid of me. He goes back to his natural resting.
I stand straight and tall and I say, I am not afraid of you. You may be one of the few Ord in Azeroth that has some resemblance of honor. But I do not fear you.
I take out my flask.
His gaze slowly moves to Mara. And he notes her race. That was not the plan.
I do not care if it was the plan or not. You allowed it to happen. You are just as responsible as she is.
I step into the cell.
Varrock lowers his head. Varrock is his first name, by the way.
I look down at him. I look at Mara. Fuck. What's her name again?
Which one?
Sylvanas.
Sylvanas.
Which
Okay.
one?
Sorry.
You got this, man. You
Yep.
got this.
I'm not lore savvy.
Yep, that's okay.
History check
You can do it.
anytime you want.
Yep, if you want to go out of character, feel free.
This is the guy from the WoW YouTube video. The one orc that had.
I recognize that.
Yep.
This is that guy.
I just couldn't remember her name.
Yep.
I look down at Sourfang. So whose decision was it to burn the tree?
Sourfang's gaze slowly rises. You understand. He rises to his feet as the chains will allow it. You understand the magnitude of the orc that is before you. The might of Kalimdor is before you.
My heart begins to pound. I feel a tingling sensation through my body.
Saurfang looks to the side and goes, understand that everything I have done is for the Horde. But I will not be a part of her Horde. Not after this. It was her order.
I understand.
Saurfang relaxes a little bit.
I scream at Sourfang as he relaxes. You have no honor. You could have done something. You Horde. All you do is
And betray my war
conquer
chief.
and kill.
We conquer and kill.
She is not a war chief.
You Kaldor have no idea what the orcs have gone through. Were you in internment camps? No, you sought immortality through your tree. That is what all of you have done. And when we press our advantage, when we are what we are, conquerors.
You are a plague on Azeroth, spreading like a disease.
Varrock sits. How old are you?
My age is none of your business and should not matter.
How old are you?
I'm 1,250 years old.
You know the stories of the orcs, correct? You know my story, correct?
Everyone knows your story, Lord Sourfang.
He lets out a snort, almost as if laughing. We were deceived until Gramash broke us free of our curse. We thought it to be strength. He brings his hands up. This green is more of a prison than this cell. I do not expect to see that many more days, especially since I am surrounded by Alliance. However, when we invaded Darnassus, it was never our decision to burn the tree. It was to invade and to let live. You must understand, we are at war. Would you feel bad for me if I died without this war?
I get up
Caldora.
close to him, and I make eye contact. I meet his gaze. And I said, "No, Lord. I hope you live a long life,
He chuckles.
filled with shame and dishonor. I hope your victims and the cries of the children that you burned haunt you for eternity."
Enough!
Sour-
As you heard, it was not his call.
Sourfang's gaze rises to
You
Gareth.
dumb human believing his lies.
Sourfang turns to Mara and goes, "Then you have not heard enough of me." He brings his gaze to Gareth.
My heart pounds.
Look at you, Sourfang. What is there left of
Not much, Kaltorai. So what would it be for me to crush you right here?
I dare you to try, Lord. I don't have to kill you.
The tree burned.
Sourfang chuckles and goes, "One day you will know the truth of what happened there. And one day you will have to accept it. And one day you will have to accept what your people and what your alliance did to us orcs, and to the trolls, and to the undead.
And what you orc did to the Draenei? Shall we talk about those camps? You are not as innocent as you claim. You disgust me.
Do you think that I don't hear those screams every night I go to bed? I will not be around a pig being slaughtered due to this. So how dare you, Kaldorai, judge me for something that was done under demon control? This very demon that you fought against the Legion. Yes, I know who you are, Mara. I know you.
You know nothing about me.
I am the might of Kalimdor. I am the overlord, Varrock Saurfang. Do you dare avoid my gaze? Do you dare challenge my will?
You are nothing to me. I look down on you and your chains. Your time is over, Lord. May you live a long life.
Saurfang looks over to
Your
Jaina.
actions.
Do we have anything else here? Jaina goes, I think they have a few more questions for you.
God damn it, Hulk!
Hooray for witticism!
My immersion! My immersion!
Yeah, witticism.
I
Sour
look
fa-
at Sour.
Yep.
I
go ahead.
shimmer purple in the corner late.
I look at Sourfang and glance at Mara and look back. We did not come for a pissing match of pity parties.
Piss all over him.
What is her next target, Sourfang?
Your war has already started, human.
Yes.
I don't know the next target. I expected to die at Lordaeron.
I
I'm sure
interject.
you expect to die in every battle you enter.
Sourfang looks around.
I interject.
Yep.
You know Sylvanas better than anyone. If you were her, where would you go next? And maybe you can get back some of the honor that you once had and prevent any further loss of innocent lives.
I don't know her next target, elf.
You know her. What would she do?
You are asking the wrong advisor for that.
Keep
He leans
lying.
back.
We will get it out of you eventually.
Sourfang leans back, goes, I'm amazed at the lack of response from our army invading Darnassus, though.
What do you mean? Speak.
Sourfang leans back, looks around and goes, I'm a dead man already. When we invaded Darnassus, I was the general of the entire campaign, not of the burning of the tree, and we did not murder any civilians. However, we would fight any soldier that stood against us.
Children are not soldiers.
We did not kill any children. That would be the Banshee Queen.
You're all horde to me.
He looks, he goes, do you want to hear my answer or not?
We'll walk out of the cell.
Speak your lies.
Sourfang ignores Mara, looks at Jaina and Gareth.
Damn it, Scout.
It was much too easy to roll through Darnassus. If Malfurion hadn't showed up, we would have just rolled into the tree itself. We would have been able to invade and break up your so-called alliance. However, where was the rest of you? Where were your soldiers? I only saw Kaldori dying on my blades.
Wait. You didn't find Stormwind in your path?
Of course not. It was much too easy.
Hey, look at Jaina.
Jaina looks back to Gareth.
You arrived here with the king, no?
Yes, I did.
From where?
You came from Lordaeron.
History check, Lordaeron.
Yep.
Uh,
Former human kingdom, then the undead capital ruled by the Forsaken Queen, Sylvanas Windrunner, now war chief. She blighted it in an effort to prevent the Alliance from using it.
but we prevailed. We took over.
Yeah,
Took over. The
it was the win. Yeah.
Okay.
And she left. Ran away. Like the little scaredy bitch she is.
It's a good
Yeah, I'm talking about your girl, Hulk. I'm talking about your...
Well, it's a good cinematic.
Anyways,
Who is in charge of the Stormwind Guard here? Do any of you know?
Anduin, probably?
The king
Matthias?
himself?
The end.
No.
No.
Jaina looks at Gareth and goes, that would be... She goes, Anduin would be in charge of the Stormwind Guard, but they wouldn't be in charge of communicating any sort of thing like this. And they wouldn't hide this information. She turns back to Varrock. So what were the little tricks you were using there, Orc? Varrock looks up. He stands up. And he starts moving towards Jaina until the chains hold him still. I remember Theramore, Lady Proudmoore. And if you're looking for any sort of magic, us orcs are not as adept as it as the Blood Elves. I would assume they had something to do with it. It was none of my business. You could find them in Silvermoon. Varrock sits back down. He looks at Gareth and Mara. Know the difference between loyalty and honor, and pray you will never have to make a decision between the two. Varrock leans against the wall.
I rush up to him, furious with anger. I am in full shadow form, flaming, and I have my spell ball in my hand. And I hold it up and I'm like, please, milady, let me finish him off.
Jaina puts her staff forward. You feel ice encircling you, Mara. Do not dare impugn justice upon a prisoner of Stormwind. This is not your place.
It is not justice I seek. It is vengeance. How many Kildori lives have fallen underneath him?
This is not your call, elf.
He made
She
it
lets
my call
slip.
when he burned the tree and killed my family.
She pounds her staff on the ground. The entire building shakes underneath everyone's feet. A guard rushes in and sees the scene.
Off, and I sneer and I say, keeping him alive is a mistake.
That's not your call. Varrock, still leaning, unmoved by all of what has transpired.
Oh, I hate him.
Head to Silvermoon. I'm sure you'll find your answers there. But he closes his eyes.
I leave the room. I'm outside with Hammerstein.
The guard exits as well.
I smirk at Varrock with his closed eyes. And I nod. Glory to you, Orc. And I leave the room.
You fucking...
Varrock opens his eyes, and before Gareth leaves the room, Loktar Ogar, human.
I exit and rejoin my companions.
God, you make me so mad.
So, seems we have our next location.
As Gareth says that, you hear the horns of Stormwind go off. Guards start rushing to positions. They rush past. Jaina forms up in front of everyone and goes, "What's the matter?" One of the guards goes, "It seems there's been an intrusion, my lady. Be prepared. I think they're after Varrock. She nods. As she does, all the lights, all the candlelit lights in the stockade blow out. You hear a voice. You've done well. Perhaps I can be of service here. Everything goes black. Hours later, you all find yourselves outside of the cell, regaining consciousness. Jaina is nowhere to be found. The guards are all regaining consciousness. What the hell happened there? Anybody know what happened? Check on Varrock. Check.
Where's
Make sure.
Starfang?
Make sure.
Is
Make
it
sure.
relit?
Make sure. Yeah, everything is relit at this point. Make sure Southfang's still here. That's not you, I think. Yeah, he's still here. He's still. Where? Who did they? What? Where's Lady Proudmoore?
I do an insight check. She's nowhere around.
Yep. Jaina Proudmoore is not in the stockade. What do you do?
Is Saurfang?
Saurfang is still in his prison cell,
Oh, let me at him.
leaning
I
against the wall.
This. I got this. You motherfucker.
I'm close behind her.
Where is Lady Jaina Proudmoore? What have you done with? So help me, I will cut
Move.
off every appendage you have.
Move your character so that he can actually talk to you. All right.
I'm gonna cut off an ear.
Varrock looks at Mara. I did nothing. She left, chasing champions of the Horde. The voice you heard was the other rat within the Horde. That of Nathanos Blightcaller.
Oh. I knew I should have killed you when I had the chance.
I'm not going with them, Kaldorai. I'm resigned to my fate here. He leans up against the wall and shuts his eyes once more.
Alright, I'm gonna accept that, and I'm gonna go up to Gareth, and we have to find Lady Proudmoore. Something isn't right. Do you remember anything at all?
The voice. And then
Hammerstein? Do you remember anything at all? Oh god, what's the Archmage's name again?
Matthias?
Matthias.
Malin.
No, Malin.
Okay, thank you. Jesus, there's so many M names.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, Malin. I look to Gareth and Hammerstein, and I'm like, I spoke with Archmage Malin about Hammerstein's dream. We need to go talk to him now. I think this is connected.
What do you all say?
Brash dot connected there.
What else are we gonna do? Lady Proudmoore is gone. Sourfang had no information whatsoever. Yes, we have to go to Silvermoon, but right now we need to figure out what is going on. Because obviously Stormwind is no longer secure.
Yeah, and I have many questions as to where the guards have gone.
Well,
If
we cannot
not-
leave Stormwind undefended at SI7. We cannot leave for Silvermoon with Stormwind like this.
That is not my duty. Is this your duty?
Your duty is to the Alliance. And right now, the Alliance capital city of fucking whatever continent we're on, it's not Kalimdor, it's Eastern Kingdom, is under attack, and you have no desire to What is this?
I'm talking to chat right there.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Okay. You're killing me right now. You're killing me.
You guys
Oh
are
my God.
working as a
Keep
team.
going.
This is your
Keep
team.
going.
Go.
Keep
He's
going.
not working as a. You are not working as a. You are not working as a team right now, Gareth. Okay? I need you to focus on what's going on right now. We were just put under. Lady Proudmoore is gone. Hammerstein is having undead. None of this seems to phase you.
Hammerstein exits the stockade.
War has no clear motive, especially in these times. We were given a job, yes, a directive. This is not our goal. This is not what I was assigned to do. And I walk away.
Gareth exits the stockade.
That's it. I'm going to Matthias Shaw to talk to him about Gareth.
Mara leaves the stockade. However, when you exit the stockade, you realize what has occurred.
So we step out. What do we see?
Stormwind. Stormwind. Different pockets are ablaze. This is not a concentrated attack by the Horde. These are acts of sabotage. You can see smoke and steam rising from different pockets. You see Jaina Proudmoore directing soldiers around all of Stormwind, telling them where to go next to put out the next fire. Jaina is right outside of the stockade. You may speak to her.
Lady Proudmoore, you're safe. What happened?
It seems the Horde had other allies located in our prison, other than Sourfang, that they meant to retrieve, and decided to set fires to distract us. They've gotten away. But we will prevail in this one. Sourfang told you to get to Silvermoon. That might be your best bet to do so right now.
My eyes narrow for a moment at Mara before looking back.
I scoff at Gareth.
Before looking back at Jaina. Do we have any passage there?
I'm sure you can obtain a carriage from the trade district. Just keep heading north. You'll hit it.
I'll look at my companions. So, are we to carry buckets of water? Or are we to do something worthwhile in this?
If you have no desire to save innocent lives, that's your prerogative.
Jaina quickly darts her eyes over to Mara. If you wish to save more lives than what is involved in this right now, you will go to Silvermoon, post-haste.
A nod. Yes, Lady Proudmoore.
Thank you. You must all work together. That's how an alliance works.
This human scum doesn't know how to work with others.
And
It is most annoying,
Jaina
Lady Proudmoore.
Jaina laughs and goes, "This human scum let her father die. He's no better than me. Deal with it. I have to deal with it here." And as she says that, she marches off, ready to put out the next fire. so?
To Silverman.
To Silvermoon. The party acquires a carriage in the trade district. Secures enough supplies and prepares for the long road to Silvermoon. Silvermoon is in the northernmost part of the Eastern Kingdoms. Because of the Banshee Queen's defeat in Lordaeron, you mostly have nothing to worry about for your passage through. You will be heading through Cosmodon. Hillsbrad, and the Alterac Valley.
Oh, I love Hillsbrad.
As you depart, the path is fairly clear. You travel for days on end. You head through Hillsbrad. You head into Alterac. As you enter Alterac on your 6th day of travel, you feel the stillness in the air. You feel tension. The dreams, the possible dream that had entered Hammerstein's mind hadn't popped up. There was no true discussion as to how you handled Varrock, but it lingered in the air. And as you enter Alterac, you hear drums. You see a cliff ahead of you. And upon that cliff, you see 6 orcs. Upon direwolves, one screams out, "Loktar Ogar! For the Horde, my brothers!" They start riding down. They make their way down the hill. You must defend your carriage, or this will be the end of your travels.
Alright, I power up in shadow form and I get my flaming purple ball of magic ready. Fuck some bitches up.
One orc sees you doing this and rides straight for you. Roll for initiative.
I apply.
Alright, I got this.
Yep. All right.
Okay. Alright. I mean, it's not great, but I'll take it.
All right.
Shit. Of course you outrolled me. Fucking, you know what, Xavier? We're gonna have a talk after this is over. Alright.
Fancy, roll for damage.
Roll for damage.
Well, roll for
What was my initiative?
roll for hit. I mean, my bad.
Oh, okay. No. 17 to hit.
The orc comes charging at Mara. After applying the poison salve to your daggers, Mara's spells seem to be taking longer to cast than she would prep. The orc is but 5 feet away from her when you dive, slicing the throat of the direwolf and kicking the orc off its mount.
Very nice, Xavier.
The orc
Very
rolls
nice.
to a stop, but quickly regains his form. These are not creatures to be messed with lightly. The other orcs are coming right behind them. Vicarious, or Mara, roll for hit.
Okay. Oh dear God. have so many spells. Ooh.
Oh, ho.
Hello.
All right.
Hello. Takes a long time, but once it gets there, Mama's got some burn.
The ground crackles beneath the feet of 3 of the direwolves. 3 of them fall within the cracks that you form along the ground, and the orcs dive to the side to watch their direwolves yelp and fall beneath the earth. They're barely hanging on there, yet all of them are still alive. There are 2 more mounted orcs charging in. Hammerstein, roll.
Hammerstein, where are you? We need you. Dude, you're muted.
Yeah, you are muted.
You've been muted
Oh.
this whole time, man.
Sorry.
How long have I been muted?
I don't know.
You've been muted the whole time. I was kind of wondering.
Oh, I know when I was muted. My grandfather called.
Oh.
You were on your phone for a second, but that was
Yeah.
like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. Oops.
Let's go!
Oops.
Come
Come on, we're in battle.
I know we're in
Nice.
battle.
The orcs, sensing this
That's
moment,
shit.
I would like. Actually, you know what? I know what I'm gonna do.
charge towards the gnome, seeing his feeble size.
Yeah, death and decay right in front of me.
Death and decay in front of you.
Yep.
Alright.
Far away from enough of the carrots. I don't want the carrots to wither away to everyone else. There's friendly fire with this spell, guys.
The
Save the carriage. Save the camel.
roll for it.
It doesn't have a roll though.
Just roll it.
Okay.
Do it anyways.
I don't know.
I'm making this up. Just roll 20.
All right.
Slash RD20, man.
I am.
The orcs,
Oh.
hit by death and decay, off their direwolves, look to their hands and see their flesh rotting off. The direwolves, the fur molting off, just grind to a halt, as do the orcs. They slump into the ground, and their bodies just smash into a gel.
Ew.
There is nothing left of these 2. There are 4 orcs left, and they have risen to their feet, and now look with bloodlust in their eyes. They're ready. This is the Frostwolf clan. This is Thrall's clan. They will not be taken lightly.
Green Jesus.
No.
One
Oh.
approaches Lord Fancy, the one that Fancy knocked off his wolf. He takes a swing. Yeah, sorry, Gareth.
Who's Lord Fancy?
Yeah, no, who's Fancy?
Lord,
Yeah.
I mean, Gareth
Hold that
might
thought
be
for
fancy.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Oh my god.
The other orcs,
Pause.
2 orcs approach
The orcs pop.
Mara.
Oh god.
In the meantime, Mara,
Looks like I'm squeezing something. It's supposed to be like a flaming ball. And I'm just like,
this is a stress ball.
Well, I have a stress ball, but it's a smiley face, and I don't think it's that fearsome.
They don't show the smiley face.
Alright.
One of the orcs,
Like, make like.
one of the orcs chops
Oh god, I'm crying.
towards Gareth. He strikes your vest. However, all you feel is the impact. Nothing cuts through. The adamantite, holding firm. You jump to the side. You're ready to retort. Let's see if you do.
Roll for retort.
Roll. Yeah,
Roll for that the counter attack.
we're combining this. We're combining RP and...
With our powers combined, Captain Planet.
I strike back at him.
After being hit by the axe, you quickly, with one hand, you punch the orc in the face, and with the other, you draw your knife up the front of his chest. All of his skin, his flesh just flies to the side. He feels all of his organs starting to come out. He grabs his chest and falls to the ground. He's screaming as the poison surges. He can feel it taking over his body.
I slit his throat to cease his screams.
He looks up at you and goes, and through the bated breath, he goes, "Victory." The orc dies right there. The other two come towards Mara. These orcs mean business. They take a swing. You duck under one kind of awkward blow, but the other one strikes true and dings your arm. You feel the pain of it. This was not a dagger slice. This was an orc axe slice. You can feel your arm start to bleed.
It is
not.
An arm?
Yeah, you have an arm. It protected. Your new robe protected you for the most part. However, you could still feel the blood welling up underneath there. You must return attack. How do you proceed?
With my arm crippled, I can no longer cast a spell. So I'm just gonna smite him. No.
Thou shalt be smitten.
I'm gonna death pact him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll. Do it. Okay. So there we go.
Okay.
A sinister force appears underneath both orcs, and they look around, trying to feel what has occurred. As they look towards each other, a shadowy figure appears before them, a scythe billowing through, and slices through both orcs. No blood. However, both orcs drop to the ground, slumping, lifeless, their eyes pupilless. They are no longer of this world. There is one orc left. Hammerstein.
I look at him and smile with a murderous glint in my eye and glance over at Hammerstein. Finish him off.
The orc approaches Hammerstein, shouting, "Lok Narosh!"
I say, no, you.
Damn it. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on, Hammerstein.
Come on, man.
The orc brings down a great cleave upon the helmet. It feels like the weight of 1,000 suns being brought down upon the gnome's head. The headache rings out. Scouty is brought down. Not Scouty. Hammerstein is brought down.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christ, your names.
You've been doing that like
I
about
know.
5 minutes
I know.
before that you were fine. What
I know.
happened?
No, you.
No, you.
No, you. Hammerstein
Your mother.
drops to the ground. However, he can feel his senses regain. He feels his undead resolve grow within him. Go ahead. What do?
I would like to cast Army of Undead. Or Army of the Dead.
Army of the Dead is cast. Army of the Undead is Army of the Dead is cast.
Yeah.
The skeletons of the dead orcs rise out of the bodies, climbing out of the ground, and they set their sights on the only living enemy of Hammerstein. They start running as fast as they can. They grab on. The orc screams in a bloody rage, trying to fight them off. The skeletons grab onto any sort of flesh they can and start tearing. You see the threads of blood drag down on the orc's body. You can see the cries of agony that the orc lets out as he screams blood and thunder, as his own muscles are ripped from the bone, and just as he can feel his life leaving his body, he falls down in a bloody pool. Nothing more. The skeletons collapse. However, you hear another horn.
Oh my god.
This is not an orc horn. You see 5 Sindori, the Blood Elves, arrive on the ridge. They look down upon the bloody remains of the orcs. They look to one another as another 20, another 30, 100 Blood Elves arrive.
We need to get out of here now.
At their center, a tall Blood Elf, blonde, rides, pulls his sword from his sheath, points to the 3. The entire battalion charges.
We need to get out of here right fucking now.
There is no escape at the moment. You understand what you were in for at the moment.
Death?
The entire battalion surrounds the 3. The leader rides up to you. You know this Blood Elf. Who doesn't? He is the Regent Lord of Silvermoon, tasked with the defense of the northern parts of the Eastern Kingdoms. Lorthamar Theron rides up and says, "That was a nice job that you just did here. You're coming with us." And with that, all of you feel the weight of 1,000 irons upon the back of your skulls, and all you feel is black. You wake up a time later. You feel the heat of a fire upon you. All 3 of you tied to a chair. Each one of your chairs. You look around. You're in the Frostwolf Den. Across from you is this tall Blood Elf, Lorthamar Theron. He is the Regent Lord of Silvermoon. He is not the king, he is not the prince, but he is their leader. Their true leader, Kel'Thalas, Sunstrider, went off and betrayed his own people. Lorthamar would not do that. He holds a piece of meat in front of Mara's face. Eat. Eat.
No.
He slaps Mara. Eat.
Do it again, I dare you.
He slaps you again.
I say do it again. I'm enjoying this.
I hate you! I hate you so much! I take them from him, and then I smack him on the face with it.
You
throw
can't.
it back in his face and
You
I
can't.
spit it in.
You can't.
like
You're tied to the
bound.
chair. You're bound.
God damn it. No!
Have your
No,
neck.
I don't want your meat.
I don't think
Get
you're
away
a
from me.
giraffe.
Lorthamar goes, "Suit yourself."
I can take this all day.
He walks over
Keep
to
at it.
Gareth. He goes, "Eat."
I sniff it.
I sniff
Smell
it.
anything?
What was that?
Do I smell anything suspicious?
No. He looks at you and goes, "If I wanted to kill you, I'd just kill you."
I bite it.
He walks over to the other end of the table. He starts eating the meat. So what are you kind doing over in my neck of the woods?
Don't tell him anything.
No shit!
Lorthamar laughs. He goes, "I'm not an orc. I'll find out one way or another." What are you doing in my neck of the woods?
I look at my binding. How well are they bound?
Oh, incredibly well. And you can feel a sort of magic to them as well.
All right. You drive a hard bargain. You release my binds. Let me out, I'll tell you. I
Lorthamar.
have a smirk on my face.
Lorthamar nods and he walks over to Mara and he slaps her across the face again.
Quit smacking me!
Lorthamar, he goes,
giggle.
do not try me, night elf. Then he walks back over to his seat.
Blood dripping from my mouth, I smile.
You were headed north. There's only one thing north for SI-7 agents.
We are no SI-7 agent.
He looks at you. He pulls his patch open. You see a glow through the eye. The eye that should be there. I know everything. He replaces the patch over his eye. What are you doing trying to infiltrate my city, SI-7?
Go ahead and keep beating me. You'll never get anything. I'll wear these bruises like a badge of honor.
Lorthamar leans back in his chair. He looks at Hammerstein, Gareth, and Mara. And he looks at Mara and goes, "Does it hurt knowing that they're all dead? Does it hurt, Shadow Priest?"
I don't know what you're talking
Oh, I think you do. Your little barbecued friends in that tree of yours.
If I ever get out of here, kill you.
You're never getting out of here, dear. Understand that you can either tell me what you were doing there and possibly make this easier on you, or you can die in the morning. The orcs enjoy killing prisoners in the morning for some reason. I would prefer to kill my prisoners right now.
I lower my gaze but keep eye contact, blood still dripping from my mouth. And I say, I guess I'll see you in the morning.
He goes, "Well, I knew that she'd be an empty well. How about you, human?"
I have nothing to say.
Of course not. He turns to Hammerstein. "And what of you, Death Knight?"
Nothing to say to you.
"So you're all resigned to your fate. Is that it?" Very well, then. Lorthamar walks away. You may
run up
interact.
to the bars and I grab the bars.
You're not in a cage. You're tied to a chair.
There.
Yep.
I got free. I
You
got
are-
free from my
You are magically bound.
Oh.
Heads up.
Okay, I scream. I just scream. Lorthamar, wait.
Lorthamar pauses as with his back still turned. Yes.
I can give you Sourfang if you let us go.
Lorthamar turns abruptly. He walks up to Mara. Saurfang is dead. How can you give me him?
I
He's
giggle.
dead, huh? Well, I guess your information is accurate. I think it is. Saurfang is alive and well. And if you want him, let us go.
A sword unsheathes. Where the hell is he?
He died a warrior's death!
Lorthamar looks over to Gareth. What is it? Did he die? Or can you give me him?
I will give you everything you need once we are safe and away. That is the deal. Otherwise, I'd be happy to die with my companion.
Lorthamar
Turn-
looks
Turn
at
my
Gareth.
back to him.
You can't turn, you're in a chair.
Oh my god! I turned my face that way.
Okay.
Like I literally have my hands behind my back right now, trying to remove myself. So I turn away like this, okay?
Okay.
Fuck my life. Next time, do not tie me to a chair. Put me in a cage like a normal person.
God damn it.
No.
Okay. Lorthamar looks at Gareth and asks him, is my friend dead, human?
I look to Gareth. We cannot complete our mission if we are dead,
I
Gareth.
gotta quickly do something. Sorry.
Go ahead, Hammerstein.
Hammerstein passes out in his chair as he's tied up.
He's in Stormwind.
Lorthamar replaces the sword into the sheath on his belt.
Release me from these binds, please. I cannot take it.
Lorthamar looks. He thinks. Lorthamar did not get into his position by being an idiot. By being leader of the Blood Elves. He looks pensive. He goes, I will release you from your bindings, human. But I have more questions before that happens. He walks over to Mara. You can give me Saurfang. What do you want in return?
We were heading for Silvermoon.
I am Silvermoon.
Then you should have all the information that we...
What information are you looking for?
Our quarrel is not with...
Your quarrel is with me if it's with Silvermoon. Understand that, girl.
We have no quarrel with... We are simply seeking information. And then we will be on our way.
And
The orc that we killed when you came upon us, they attacked us first. We were simply defending ourselves.
Lorthamar
Now, whether
leans.
you believe me or not, that is the truth.
Lorthamar leans back and goes, This is war. You know it as well as I do.
We are very old. you
What
and I.
what information do you need?
We can be at war and still have honor and respect.
I don't think the Kaldori deserve my honor nor respect. Where were the Kaldori when Silvermoon was invaded by Arthas, who decimated more than 90% of my people, destroyed the Sunwell, and destroyed and killed our Ranger General?
The Kaldori have suffered enough, as you so delicately put it. Every race on Azeroth has suffered.
And where were
Every
you
war that we've
when
ever
we
had.
suffered? Now you look for pity?
I look for nothing.
Have your questions and ask them quick.
Gareth, wake the fuck up!
I use my death to kind of like nudge him.
Gareth, wake up!
I am awake.
Ask him questions about what we're here to ask him about, because I was AFK and I don't remember.
Communication.
I was AFK when Lady Jaina Proudmoore told him why we need to go to Silvermoon. I
That's
was
fine.
dealing with cats and LED.
That's fine. That's fine. That's
I
fine.
don't know exactly what to ask him, and I'm having a hard time right now, and I need my compatriot to back me up here, so get up out of your lazy ass chair
He walks-
and ask some questions to this motherfucker while he's still pliable.
I just kind of
Lord-
like sprinted.
Lorthamar walks over to Gareth. You don't look so good.
Amanda.
I don't know.
God damn it.
The faster that we get through this, the faster we can get you out of these bindings.
What do you want?
You want what?
What do you want?
I want to know what you want, Jesus Christ!
Let me out.
Lorthamar looks around and goes, "You can ask me in the morning, after you've had some time to think about this." He punches Gareth in the head, punches Mara in the head, and kicks Hammerstein in the head. All fall unconscious.
What is this guy with a head? Man, I got beat up a lot tonight. Just saying.
Time passes. Our party awakens in a cell, no longer bound.
Thank you, God.
It's the middle of the night. There are orc guards a little ways down the way, inside the cavern. And you see a few torches here and there. Nothing close enough for you to grab. You can interact with each other right now.
Gareth, what's wrong? What's the matter with you? What's going on?
Nothing.
Nothing? Look at
Oh my
yourself.
God.
I'm just ill. Long travel, no rest. You know how it is.
I accept his answer, and I go to Hammerstein. You've been significantly quiet this journey. Anything to contribute here, there, pal, friend?
All I'm gonna say is, Some things don't look as they seem.
What do you mean? What isn't what it seems?
Don't worry about it.
You
You'll
can't just
understand
say
later.
that and then not tell me.
You should have lived long enough to know what that means.
Oh my god, everybody's talking about my age.
What?
Fuck all of you!
What? Where?
Hey, you...
Where?
I don't
Anyways.
know.
Anyways.
Alright. What do we have on us?
Dude, check your DMs. Seriously.
There's nothing on your personal effects. So you hear an orc grunt and you see a humanoid figure approaching. It's a blood elf. And once again, it's Lorthamar. So, how do you find these arrangements? Are they more fitting to your person? Jesus! Let's get this on the road. What do you need to know from me? You've given me everything. I intend to uphold my end of the bargain. What do you need to know about Silvermoon?
We need to know what part Silver took in the destruction of the tree and why Stormwind wasn't there.
Why Stormwind wasn't there? Wouldn't you all know why?
We were sent here to find out. And Stormwind circumstances are thus that we do not know. Like, I'm not going to tell him that Stormwind's under attack and on fire right now. That's just, like, stupid.
Lorthamar kinda scratches his face a few times. And you think Silvermoon played a part in this?
That's what we were told. That's why we're here. Just to seek information about the destruction of the tree.
What?
Lorthamar looks around and goes, I played no role in the destruction of your tree, nor did my people. Your tree burned because your leader would not die. And Stormwind decided not to act upon that. Isn't that strange?
You know something, and I'm not giving you Sarv. Tell me what you know.
Lorthamar stands up and goes, I need not get anything from you. I know the Alliance has Sourfang.
You didn't even know he was alive last.
And now I do.
You don't know where he is.
We will find him, my dear.
Save you a lot of time and life.
Lorthamar turns and goes, I don't need you saving me any time. This is war, my dear. Enjoy your stay. I'll see you in the morning.
I
Ta-ta.
forgot what else have no
Are we
honor.
still bound?
You're in
No.
a cell, not
Where's
bound.
Kate?
Or
Yeet!
could I use magic?
Not yet. No.
Not yet? Okay.
No.
Alrighty.
Magically bound cage. But still a cage.
Anti-magic barrier cage.
Yes, but a very nice cage.
You guys can communicate right now.
You guys are
I'm-
a lot of help.
I'm not as I usually am. Usually calm and reserved. Right now, I'm just like shaking and rocking back and forth. And
I'm doing circles around
Pale.
myself. Matthias
I know.
gave me two of the most useless SS17
SSDs.
companions I could possibly
SI7.
have. What did I say?
You said S1117
Why do I keep
something.
saying
I don't know.
S1?
I don't know.
The same reason our Twitch names, I imagine.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because we're all just. Yeah, I can't do all of this by myself. Apparently, I'm on this mission now alone. The two of you have just resigned to fall asleep in your cells and die.
I'm focusing on the...
Focusing on what, Hammerstein?
No, I'm talking
Do you
to
even
myself.
know why we're here? Do you know what the mission is? Have you forgotten in this week that we've been traveling across Hillsbrad?
Hammerstein hears this, but falls asleep.
What the?
Time passes,
Jeez.
and Hammerstein awakens. He stands up. He does not regard Mara or Gareth, and he approaches the bars. He grabs onto the bars, and the bars begin to freeze. Slowly. And then, as if it all happens at once, the bars shatter. And Hammerstein begins his way forward.
I get to my feet.
The two orcs that were on guard see this and blow out and yell out a warning. And they rush towards the group.
Like the death grip, both of them, one in each grip, and strangle them.
Both
I
orcs.
rush to the bars. Let me out! Let me out!
The entire prison is open. The cage is open.
Oh, well, fuck it. I'm throwing spells and shit.
I'm watching.
The both orcs rise up off the ground as they strangle to death until their legs stop kicking. And Hammerstein releases them, and they drop to the ground. As they drop to the ground, the skeletons rise out of their bodies and take up rank right next to Hammerstein. He continues forward through the cavern. It would be best to keep pace with him.
What be your plan, Hammerstein?
He doesn't say anything.
I look at Mara, eyes wide. You suppose we follow?
Anything to get us out of here, Gareth.
I suppose so.
Your effects were being stored off to the right, not too far from your cell.
I take him back.
Hammerstein is now further through the cavern than you can see. You hear the sounds of fighting, though. However, Hammerstein's swords are still with all the other effects.
I grab his swords in both hands. They're basically short swords for me, right?
Yeah, for you, yeah.
To me, they're great swords.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Where
Is
do
that
you-
a short joke, Gowdy?
Where do you
Do
all
I feel
go?
anything when I hold them?
No.
Well, I pick up his weapons. Shit. Mara, keep your eyes peeled. We got a fight ahead of us. I move forward through the cave.
You hear the sounds of battle, but you don't hear the ringing of weapons. You hear the screaming of orcs. You hear the yelling of blood elves. You wonder what's going on. You must run faster.
And so I
I
do.
have a light feather that increases my run speed by 60%. I use that.
You start running at a great pace.
Yay.
You approach the battle scene.
Yeah, it applies to everybody.
Oh, okay.
You don't see the two skeletons that accompanied Hammerstein from the prison. You see a horde of mindless undead running amok, tearing at the living orcs and blood elves. They're screaming. Their cries fill the night. You see Hammerstein walking calmly towards the opening. Sorry, that crash.
Is that the pup?
Yeah, I know. One more turn, and it's the opening of the cavern. You see Hammerstein leaving the cavern.
I throw his sword in front of his path.
He ignores it and continues. As he leaves the cavern, you feel a thud, and a whoosh of wind fills in the cavern. For that's what you would feel when a Draco Lich lands about 50 feet away from you.
Oh, what?
This undead dragon
Okay. Roll
looks
history.
with blue eyes into the cavern and roars. All living beings are frozen in place. Two Death Knights descend upon next to this Draco Lich on undead griffins.
Same here. He's frozen.
Hammerstein climbs upon the undead Draco, the undead dragon, and screams into the cavern.
There must always be a Lich King.
With a whoosh, the dragon takes off and heads to the north. You realize that the armor that he was wearing was not his typical armor. He had obtained it the other day when you were in Stormwind. The whispers. Who knows? Lorthamar comes running through, sword in hand, slicing down all the mindless undead, and approaches you two. What the hell was this bullshit? He places his sword towards all of you.
We had nothing to do with this.
Like
We have
hell
no
you
idea
didn't.
What's going on?
What's your little gnome friend up to? Where's he headed?
We know very little about Hammerstein. If we were a part of this, believe me, I would happily take credit for it, but we have no idea what's going on.
Lorthamar looks as the last of the undead are put down. He looks at the body count. He looks up at the undead dragon flying away. You can see him doing calculations. He's headed to Northrend.
What?
He's
What?
headed to Northrend.
Why?
What did he just say to all of you?
No. No! He
What?
was struck down!
He said there must always be a Lich King. What does that mean? You don't think?
Lorthamar looks off
Is that
into the
possible?
distance. We must make haste. He turns to his sergeant. Ready the men. We make to Northrend at dawn. You two, you're coming with me. One of the blood elves goes, "Bind him, my lord." Shakes his head. He goes, "These two are going to have to fight. we're all going to have to fight. And that is where we end week 2.
You mean take our break?
Nope. We're not going to take a break.
It's 11 o'clock.
It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock.
You're like an episode of Lost or something. Like, I just want more. Come on, man.
I know. I would love to keep going,
Puzzle-banging
but this is good.
fuck. What the puzzle banging fuck is going on here?
Puzzle
This
bang.
is so good.
Who is puzzle bang?
I am
Hammer-
so enthralled in this.
There is only Hammer.
Hammerstein flies towards Northrend. There is only one thing there. Bolvar Foredragon, the current Lich King, the jailer of the damned. What does Hammerstein intend to do? Why does he suddenly have this need? These answers will come next week
Damn it.
on the Dagger of Azeroth. I want to thank everyone for hanging out. Players, please stick around.
Make me.
Everybody that's in chat, thank you so much. We're gonna go to our end stream screen, and guys, I will see you in a moment.
Okay.
Give me a few minutes,
Changing. Like PJs.
and I hope that all of you
I
will
can
join
be
us
right back.
next
Go
week.
pee.
We will
Me too.
join us next week. We are going to have a lot of fun as our players venture into Northrend. Have a great week, and we shall see you then. Take care, everyone. This has been the Dagger of Azeroth. We will be back next week, I promise you, and there will be more blood.